Hello again everybody and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all okay. We're back in South America today, so continuing along our much overdue next leg of our FlyUK Scenic South America tour. And for the first time since Sim Update 5, I'm back in the Aerosoft CRJ, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm just trying to sort something out all the time, so. Right, there we go, we're back with it. Right, so we're joined by a couple of people today as well, so hopefully everybody flying along is going to enjoy the route too. This scenery for Sao Paulo, by the way, is available to download for free on flightsim.to. Jonathan, David, hello to you guys. So we've got FlyUK CRJ over in the distance there too, which is good to see. And I think that's all we've got for today. Oh, there we go. There's somebody else. And there we are, nestled right off in the corner at stand 306. So for the first time in quite a long time now, actually, I'm back in the CRJ. It's been over a month, and I have missed it because it does work quite nicely for me, and I do really enjoy it. It's a fantastic aeroplane add-on for the sim. But I've spent the last sort of 40 minutes getting everything ready, getting it all configured inside the CDU, and we're pretty much ready to go. Very short, easy enough sort of route today. So if I go onto the flight plan, you'll see here I've manually entered this because there's no other reason not to. S-band. There we go, that's our diversion. You can see we're on the Edlu 1 Alpha departure from Edlut up to UKBEV, and then we're taking the Uniform Zulu 26 airway all the way down to NIMPU, onto Welling, and then the Welling 2 Alpha arrival into Brasilia. And that is literally it, followed by the ILS runway 11 right, the ILS Zulu. Flexor 46, there's the legs page with everything. I've gone through already and checked to see if there's any discontinuities, and there aren't any, we're all good. And the approach today takes us in via a waypoint called Loveler, and I'll show you guys where that fits in shortly. Transition altitude for departure is 8,000, and it's around about flight level 80 for descent as well. That is literally it. Performance page, perf in it. You can see there a cruiser flight level 340. And then over here we've got our V-speeds in already, so V1 of 134 is targeted, and we go into the performance tab. You guys can see our performance tables here. 62 passengers out of 70, cargo is sort of over half full, and we've got just enough fuel for the journey today as well. 4,200 kilograms of fuel required, plus if that was to include the diversion, of course. Flaps 8 for departure on a dry runway, and we've got V1 of 133. Let's reset that. There we go, that's a bit better. 133, V rotate at 133, V2 at 142, V2 plus 10, 152. You can see there 152 set with the magenta speed target there too. We need to close the door.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All
remove the chocks. Laser steering is disarmed. Initial climb to 11,000 for the departure, and we're going to have a little look through the charts. David A, good morning. Basil as well, the commentator, Paul Brown, Jay Newbury, Beeline pilot, Philip McCarley. Hi guys, channel members, welcome to you all, and everybody else in the chat as well. Doctor on board saying we're going to get tailwind on landing. Awesome, look forward to it. How much of a tailwind, out of curiosity? What else have we got here? Navigraph. I've got Volanta started. Ooh, but don't forget, by the way, guys. Start Skytrack. Good grief. Almost went to Pushback without that then. So, I've just been reviewing charts for the entire journey, so that's why Brasilia is selected at the moment. You can see our journey today is going to take us pretty much almost straight up north across Brazil from the coast. We are here at stand 306. at Terminal 2 in Sao Paulo. We're going to push back onto Yankee 3 and we're going to taxi Yankee 3, Yankee, Golf, hold at Golf, runway 09 left. On departure, the Edlet 1 Alpha RNAV departure, we're going to depart runway heading, and then above 2,900 feet we're going to make a left turn, max 180 knots, and then join this RNAV departure up to Edlet, before breaking off on this little fork here, taking us all the way up to UKBEV, and you can see we have to be at or above flight level 100 at GR2902, but the next waypoint, GR311, we have to be at or below flight level 110, so that's why we've selected 11,000 for the time being, and then UKBEV at or below flight level 200. Then we've got a couple of waypoints all the way up, and then we're going to enter via VUKEP and Welin, which is just here, Welin 2 Alpha arrival, star, there we go. So via VUKEP, 91 miles down to Welin. We have to be at Welin, at or below flight level 240, and then into Lovela, which is the initial approach fix, max 190 above 6,000. So there we go. Consider yourselves briefed. Dead Egg Media in the States, good morning to you. Just hopped in from De Gaulle to London. Awesome. Basel baby, cruise speed, Mach decimal 84-ish. We'll have a look when we get up there. Vets, no worries at all. Ambulances don't drive themselves. Pritam, hello to you as well. Alberto, good morning. Really wanted to join in the flight, but I've got too much work. But we'll be listening in throughout. A good flight. There's always going to be another one. Of course, we've got one more leg of this FlyUK Scenic South America tour to complete. QNH 1015, Unicom 122.8 is set. We've got transponder on standby. To turn that on, we literally just go down here, flick that over there, like so. Done. We've got stab trim 1 and 2, Mac trim engaged, IRSs are aligned, and we've got yaw damper 1 and 2 engaged as well. Check in all of our crew alerts stuff. Altitude flight level 340, so 34,000 feet today, Basel. But we could go all the way up to 410 if we want to. Or flight level 400. What have we got? APU's on, park brakes on, ISO valves open, engines are shut down, the bleeds are closed. Stab trim over there, I've set there, you can see, to 7. And that is from our performance page on the EFB. You can see there, takeoff trim 7.0 and the central gravity 20.6%. So that's where that comes in there. Right, let's arm the pushback. We've got chocks clear and the door closed. We can see the tug moving into place. Let's get the beacon on. Ground power is off. Boost pumps on. Bleed air is on auto and normal. That is us ready to go, I believe. Right. Obviously hydraulics are all on auto as well. Cythera, hello, very well, thanks. Hope you're okay. Rolos traffic, Skyways 4944, stand 306. Push and start onto Yankee 3. Park brake off. Let's bring that tug speed forwards. Now this is going to be interesting for us because we want to do a bit of a wiggle. Instead of just coming out, we actually want to come across slightly so we can get that turning, because we're actually in quite a tight cul-de-sac, as you can see here. Beeline pilot, hello. What's up? We got time. There's a couple of us flying. We're not going to depart until we're all lined up, of course. Let's go unlock. Throttle 2 on the right. Yeah, it took me about 13 minutes earlier to boot my sim. round we go. Some nice freeware scenery, really. The link in the giveaway, in the live chat, guys, that Gleam giveaway, today is the last day that you can get an entry in, so make sure you do get something in.
Please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the...
Pushing back 1 minute late.
Sao Paulo, traffic alert, pushing back, Delta with airspace 20, after the CRJ, passes from right to left, behind.
We would also like to remind you...
On the Yankee Delta, 49.
Start.
...paying attention during this brief presentation.
Pushback. Forwards. Pull ourselves out of this cul-de-sac here. Beeline pilot, the Osprey ICAO is Bravo Victor X-ray. And Leonardo, yes, it is indeed the scenery from FlightSim.to for Guarulhos. Darren's asking to explain VNAV planning for the CRJ. What about it in particular, just out of curiosity? Hopefully I can pinpoint a particular explanation. Look at that, so courteous. Truck driver's going to be hating me. Look at that really dead stare look, because I'm making him do extra work. Ah, Beeline pilot, awesome. First flight in the Osprey channel livery, love it. Enjoy it. That should be clear now. We're alongside a Beam 309. There we go. End pushback. Get out of here. 6 flying along today. Awesome. Birdman, what Pushback plugin are we using? It's Toolbar Pushback and it's free on FlightSim.to. It is really cool. Let's get that one started. So, if it's advisory VNAV stuff that Darren's asking about, as Nox is mentioning there, it's got an advisory VNAV, so it will not give you... it will tell you where your top of descent is, but beyond that, it's down to us to manage. There is a tab, I'll show you later on in the flight, there is a tab in here that will actually show us roughly what we want to target. There's a ball as well that we want to try and target through the descent, along with a couple of other things. Okay, all those warnings have gone off. All we've got now is continuous ignition, park brake on, APU on. Overhead, we don't need wing inspection lights. Pop the taxi lights on. Windshield heats are on low, probe heats are both on now, and everything else is on automatic. We don't need landing lights just yet. We need manual crossflow override shortly when we get towards the runway. And we wanted flaps 8 for departure. Flaps 8, yeah, checked. On the thrust reversers. Darren, seems to me it's pretty much a manual process. Yeah, pretty much. It is a thinking pilot's aeroplane, very much so. I've got to say I absolutely love the CRJ, and it's been too long since I was last using it. Guarulhos traffic, Skyways 4944 is taxi to runway 09 left, hold point Golf via Yankee 3, Yankee and Golf. Guarulhos traffic. Little bit of power. We'll wait at the threshold for everybody. We can get a little group photo before we depart. Oh, I'm so buzzing to be back in the CRJ. Look at it, it looks so good. There's a Lufthansa City Line one that comes into Heathrow now regularly, and I love it.
Taxiing to go via Yankee 3, Yankee Echo.
Oh, Birdman. It is hands down the best aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator right now. You've got to be, so for example in the Airbus A320 with the fly-by-wire mod, you've got to be a couple of minutes in thought ahead of the aeroplane. With this aeroplane, the CRJ, you need to be like 10 minutes ahead of it, because otherwise it'll start to run away from you. It is very much a manual process for a lot of this. There is a lot of things to monitor, change, tweak. Things like landing pressure up here. Let's get the APU off now. Cabin pressure for touchdown, depending on where you're flying into, and all that sort of stuff has to be done manually as well. Artra, you can manually fly arcs. In fact, I really enjoy manually flying the arcs in this. Give me shelter, hello, good afternoon. These videos of yours are proving to be great fun to have running in the background while working from home. Have a good flight. Great to hear, and thanks very much. Clear left. Some other folks. And we're turning onto
Sao Paulo traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, Stanford
Yankee.
10, pushing back onto Yankee 4 East.
Yeah, Lauren, as you're saying there, obviously if the A320 was completely complete, then you could literally just let the autopilot do it all, and you wouldn't really need to worry very much whatsoever. As you're saying there, like the Talis can do in X-Plane. It's a very hands-off aircraft compared to this. This is a, as I said earlier, without offending any Airbus pilots, of course, this is very much a thinking person's aeroplane. And it does help you develop a appreciation for regional jets. Keith's got his seat as well with his boarding pass, sat working from home. Cythera, it is now. I think you might have noticed me ever so slightly just have that cursor go wiggling off somewhere. Check the charts, we're on Golf. I've just taken a really slow taxi, just to give everybody else behind a chance to catch up. Takeoff config's okay over there, right reverse is armed, left reverse is armed, seatbelts are on. We've got our altitude set and the QNH is 1015. Oh, so excited to be flying this again. I'm very much looking forward to the PMDG 737, Lauren, for MSFS. That's going to be fantastic. I've got to say, I was when Aerosoft launched this aeroplane, the CRJ, I've always thought, what's the point? I like bigger and better. So there's me chasing things like 747s, 777s. But this is, once I started using it, I think it's this, by the time I'd hit the second flight, totally, absolutely sold by it, love it, and I'd love to fly this in real life.
Gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, if you really want hands-on, fly the DC-6. That's another aircraft I've not used since Sim Update 5. Spot's idle. Flex, we've got pink over there on the ICAS. Gently brake in. The whole point. gently brake in. Doosh. Everybody's drinks have gone spilling out over the person in front. Never was smooth at braking on this. Rollers traffic. Skyways 4944 is holding at Golf. Wait for the other guys to catch up. Oh, hello. So, just going to reposition the drone camera because we've got one over there. How many have we got? One pushing back. Lovely stuff. Lovely jubbly. That should be a good angle. We'll see what happens when we push into a bit more of a better configuration. We've got nav lights, beacon lights, wing inspection, strobe, crossflow manual override. That's important in the CRJ. Strobe lights on. Park brake off. Rollers traffic, Skyways 4944 via Golf is lining up runway 09 left. Transponders on. Lawrence, sadly not. That's the theory. Yeah, braking smoothly in the sim is not easy at all. Like you say there, it's pretty much all or nothing, isn't it? Oh, I can't wait to get this airborne. Hey, I'm Jonathan. Actually, funny you were mentioning that. I really am looking forward to that Renault Air Race thing that's coming out. If that's going to be like a multiplayer thing for us, that's going to be great. Let's pop them on. Yeah, we're all lit up like a Christmas tree. Happy days. Yeah, that Renault Air Race thing is going to be properly good. How are we doing over here? Is that Philip? I think it is. Always late, Philip. Come on. We're on live weather and live time. There he is, look at that, in the brand new Osprey livery, by the way, guys. Birdman, I'm not sure, I think 3. Who's that as well down there? There's a British Av Geek Dreamliner. Is that someone flying along too? Roland, good afternoon to you. Just waiting on one other to catch up. I can take a little picture before we depart. So let's see, there's an aircraft there. Is that, he's not coming in, that's good, that's fine. SBGR.
Sao Paulo traffic Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, he's taxiing point.
Oh, it's a Swiss 93 777 going to Zurich. Wow.
For Yankee and Golf.
Oh, Dan, there we go. Yeah, Swiss, nice. Yeah, Cythera. The accountants at FlyUK are not going to be happy with the fuel we're using. What do you guys think of the new repainted Osprey livery though for the CRJ? Osprey Regional. we thought we'd spruce up the livery somewhat and make use of the Osprey theme. So Osprey Airlines, Osprey Regional, Osprey World Cargo, as we've got on the 747 as well. Looking pretty good. That's probably the best view we're going to get, isn't it? While we wait. Roland, indeed, yes, Stansted's been updated. It turns out one of the issues with Stansted was the Model League BGL thing. So they've renamed that and they've updated a whole load of emissives, lights, textures, things like that as well. So the new freeware Stansted's looking pretty fantastic now. Birdman, the CRJ does climb like a bullet indeed, yeah. And things are going to happen very quickly once we start rolling. David's enjoying the Osprey CRJ livery, good to hear. There it is, look at that. That's the gold frequent flyers version, but I've noticed the engine cowlings are blue on that for some reason, so I think it's blended two. I think it's blended 2 in 1. Dan, odd. Have you gone through and checked that they've got BVX next to the airline codes? Yeah, one thing with the CRJ, Cytherea's mentioning that it's got a supercritical wing, I think it was called. So if you're in the climb, and especially in higher altitudes, if you lose the energy in the climb, you will lose it very quickly. And the only way to get that back will be to actually descend again. Okay. We're down to 4, yeah. Beeline pilot had a crash to desktop. Edlet 1 Alpha departure. Here he comes. Archway, yes, they are indeed working on a CRJ700. That's going to be great when that comes. One thing that I really want to see is that sort of come as soon as possible, really. But Sim Update 5, sadly, caused problems with that. So we're not going to have that for at least another 2 months or so. Hopefully you guys flying along are getting some good screenshots as well. Here's a close-up of the Osprey livery, by the way, guys. You can download it for free on the GitHub server, operated by British AvGeek. Look at that. Beautiful. Slightly biased, but... Right, let's rock and roll. Gualos traffic, Skyways 4944 is departing runway 09 left on an Edlet 1 Alpha departure. Gualos traffic. Bar break off. Press the toga button. Make sure my views reset. That's all ready to go. We've got runway heading selected as well. Takeoff. Toga. Cross set. Capture and flex. And speeds alive. $80 knots. Here we go. D1, rotate. Positive rate, go up. We are in flight. Where we go. David, the Osprey liveries, the one for the CRJ especially, that is in nav, speed, autopilot engage. That is in the Discord server on the liveries tab on the the Google Drive thing that we've got. There goes the middle marker, climbing away quite nicely. You can see now we're already at 5,000 feet. Look at that. Edlet 1 Alpha, we have a max of 180 there on the turn, that's complete. So up we go. Lost traffic, Skyways 4944's airborne with a left turn, Edlet 1 Alpha. Got that back in the climb gate now as well, let's see, just check that. It's on manual thrust, we want to climb, CLB. And there goes all the flaps. Philip in Kenya, welcome on board, hope you're enjoying it. Here we go. We're airborne, Sao Paulo. White hello to you. Stunning. Bit of scenery. Oh, look at that, there's the airport down below. Glexus, welcome on board. .220, we're past transition, so Barrow for standard pressure. Oops, wrong button. Stupid. 250. Cross reversers disarmed. That's all good. We can now go cross flow back to auto. Trying to remember my flow. Yeah, Leonardo, the CRJ guys, you won't be disappointed, but yeah, there is a lot to learn and there is a lot to get your head around with this aeroplane. But it is simply beautiful to use. Interestingly enough, one of the issues, push sync doesn't work, and that's a really handy feature, so swizzling it is. Where are we on this departure? So we have to level off now at 11,000. Don't forget there's no auto throttle.
Sao Paulo traffic, Oscar 27 Juliet Mike, he's lining up on main 9 left.
UKBEV at or below flight level 200. I might just crack on all the way up. Birdman, for £36 it is absolutely fantastic value for money. TCAS works on it as well, so you can see there we've got an aeroplane just below us, behind us. Let's continue climb, shall we? So I'm manually controlling the throttle at the moment, but once we go to 34,000, I enter speed mode. Put the throttle back in the climb gate. We get the CLB on the PFD, and the aeroplane's nose will go up. Turn those off. They're all fine as they are. Seatbelt signs are on auto. There we go, look at that. Saroof, welcome on board. Ooh, is that how you do it nowadays? Right click followed by a left click. Ah, you know what? Somebody's mentioned that before on Discord. We'll try it on the next left turn. Passing Edlet now. Yeah guys, if you want to get your hands on the CRJ, you're not quite sure how to fly it, it is a very hands-on compared. I've done a three episode tutorial series on how to fly this bird. From start to finish, from setting up cold and dark on stand, all the way through to shutdown in Rotterdam. So a full flight, end to end, with the CRJ. So be sure to check that out. And look at that scenery below. This has been such a scenic little tour that we've been doing. Rightio, let's try this. Right click, left click. Ah, oh, fantastic. 280. I think we'd probably do 290. So the only time you'll get an auto throttle is in climb mode when you're climbing. Once we hit cruise, then that is it basically.
Oh no!
Harry Sanderson's bought the Aerosoft CRJ yesterday, and it has to be one of his favourite aircraft I've flown so far on MSFS. Totally agree with you. It is a wonderful bit of add-on aircraft pack for us. Oh no! John's crashed.
Rudder trim.
At the dreaded rudder trim.
It's a carbon copy of your Takeoff in Munich.
Yeah, I've tried to forget about that one. Oh no. John, you could fly from... Let's have a quick click, click, click. Oh, mind you, it's the next FlyUK leg, isn't it? I can see you on the Volanta map, actually, off the runway. Well, yeah, Laura, as Lauren's saying that, it's not... The CRJ entirely just does not have a auto throttle. The throttle is down to us. All it's doing here is the FADEC is telling the aeroplane to maintain that speed with that pitch until we get to altitude capture, and we'll get the little sequel chime telling us that as well. So did start Skytrack indeed, David, yes, thankfully. One thing I love about this is the view out the window. Such wide side windows as well. Leads into fantastic visibility all the way around the flight deck. Got a couple more giveaways coming next week, by the way, guys. We've got a we're going to be giving away a copy of the Marrakesh scenery that we checked out yesterday by Perfect Soft Studios. That was fantastic as well. And then next week as well, potentially actually on Friday or Saturday this week, sorry, we're going to be giving away a brand new copy of the upcoming Pilot Plus Bristol scenery. And I've got a video review of that going live, which is only a short 9-minute video when that gets released. And then after release, we'll then be jumping into a live stream as well, covering the new Bristol Airport scenery for the very first time. Parasim, the CRJ is growing on him 100. Yeah, absolutely. It only takes you 1 or 2 flights to really start to enjoy this. By the way, the toga button is that the little shortcut button is, I think, that screw there. Although both are clickable. 26,000 feet. There's our little advisory VNAV telling us that's when we're going to reach top of climb. Resync the heading books. We are wings level. There we go. John could catch up quite quickly by skipping that entire departure and just going direct. So if you were going to continue to fly along, John, depart and go direct to Kexit. And that cuts out the star. It kind of gives us a left turn dogleg out. Poor John. That's it. We'll fly back to Sao Paulo another day and erect a little headstone on the airport for him. Might ask the scenery developer to put one on. We got Mako Simulations to put the bench in the park at Birmingham, so yeah. When you say it like that, Lauren, the A220 sounds like an absolute nightmare to fly. And yeah, as Lauren's saying, make sure you clack it all the way, John, as well. Ride the barber poles. Look at that landscape. Jeff, what are the three little knob balls on the central support between the two front windshields? That's a fantastic question. That's what they should look like. So when you look at them, one ball is obscured by the other. If it's like that, you're too far. It's basically, these balls here are what the pilots use when they're setting up their seat to decide if they've got the correct seat setup or not. And if you can see both white balls, it means you've not got it quite correct. So you want to set up like that. That's how I've got my custom view. The default setting is this. It's ever so slightly too low, as you can see here, but if I go Alt 1, which is my custom view for the CRJ, it pretty much obscures the ball. That's how I've got my view for landings and things. Great question. As you're saying there, is it visual alignment of some sort? And you're exactly right, it certainly is. Same with this side of the aeroplane. You can see how we're translating the view across to the first officer's seat. That orange ball moves across to hide the other one, like so. Then you know that is the view you want as a first officer. And I keep meaning to do a first officer stream in this as well. Jeff, no worries at all, it's a great question. Thanks for asking. Don't forget to enter the Gleam giveaway in the links, guys. That ends tonight. So it's the last opportunity to get your entries in to win a chance to get €5 sim market vouchers to take off the price of Simulations products for Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's 9 of those up for grabs. Roll Film Productions, hello to you, welcome. Mikael, I'd love for someone to do LIRF as well. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with the first officer view either. It's a completely alternative perspective, actually. That type of landscape is called Sea of Hills by geography textbooks in Brazil. No wonder why. It's just beautiful, isn't it? And this is where Microsoft Flight Simulator really does excel itself. The views are just second to none. They're so incredibly realistic. I mean, if this was your passenger view and you're looking out the window, you'd be blown away, wouldn't you? Let's see what's around us down below. Try and get some nice little pictures for Twitter. Not much to see there. Raw Film Productions, welcome on board, thanks for subscribing. Almost at cruise now, so I'm going to head back into the flight deck. That sea chord that's about to come. We're on half bank mode because we're at high altitude and higher speeds, so the aeroplane automatically selects that. And it's over there between those two dials. We can obviously automatically select that if we wish, but there's no need to. The aeroplane will do it for us at the relevant time. And we're back in the climb now. Struggling to get back on the line, isn't it, by the looks of it?
Your streams are always relaxing, in particular at work. Keep up with the excellent content you provide us every time. Cheers.
Jonathan, thank you very much for your donation and your really kind words as well. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks, of course, for being a channel member as well, Jonathan, and your tips supporting the stream. Glad you're finding the streams relaxing. Glad you're enjoying the excellent content. Resync the heading bug. We're going to be absolutely blistering dry here doing this. There's that little purple line suggesting we're almost getting close to top of climb. although you'll note that it is struggling at the moment, ever so slightly, to hold that speed. Roll Film Productions, do I recommend the CRJ for Airbus simmers? Is it easy to learn from Airbus knowledge? It is entirely different to Airbus. The best way actually to explain it, if you bear with me, I'll get you a link. It's going to be episode 1 of my tutorial series for the CRJ. Hopefully you find it useful. Loads of people have had really positive things to say about it. And Matthew, there's the C chord for altitude. Matthew, one of our channel members, who is a real CRJ captain, has actually said that the tutorials that I've done, the 3 episodes that I've broken up into 3 different videos, explain everything really nicely. So do check them out. You'll see that there is a lot more to do, as you've seen on departure today. It is a lot more hands-on. The Airbus is very much takeoff, autopilot on, throttle in the climb gate, forget about it. But now this is all down to us. So you heard a minute ago we had that altitude C chord. Just going to try and get that speed up a little bit more. Although actually, Mach decimal 82, VNav cruise is still Mach decimal 74 there. We'll do Mach decimal 80. I wonder if it's going to let us change this. Yeah, of course not. We'll do Mach decimal 80, that makes sense. So we'll bring that back. In fact, that's the speed we're at now anyway. So manual throttle. It's telling us roughly here the N1 that we need to set for cruise, 85.7, but that's to maintain Mach decimal 74. Let's try Mach decimal 80, see if this works. Oh, it does. Execute. So it's going to recalculate. It's telling us 85.7% and 1 now for cruise. Oh, Archer, thank you very much. There we go. Good timing. So pretty much at cruise now. Altitude cap is reflashing. When we heard the C chord a minute ago, that's the aeroplane telling us that the throttle is down to us now. The biggest thing that people got caught out with this, trying to learn the CRJ, is the fact it has no auto throttle. There we go. Now, as I mentioned in the tutorials for this, my speed target is Mach decimal 80, and that's the middle of that bug there that I've selected. Obviously the arrow at the moment is dead center to that, so I'm happy with that. However, it might start to creep. As we burn more fuel, we get a bit lighter, that might creep ever so slightly more to that top end of that range. As long as it stays within the magenta box, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to start chasing the throttle around. But the way I've calibrated the throttle is that it actually gives me a lot of finite movement in the cruise for me to make lots of tiny adjustments of sort of like 0.5% N1. So I'll just leave that set like that, quite happy with that. If it goes to drift above the top end of that magenta bug, so beyond that 280 where it is at the moment, I'll bring it back 0.5% N1 and just let it settle again and see what it does. But the biggest thing with this is not to go chasing the throttle. We've not got an auto throttle, but with it set up correctly like we've got it at the moment, we can quite happily go to those wing views and enjoy the view from outside, because ultimately that's what's so good about the sim as well. Yoet Pello, welcome, afternoon to you, and asking how is the CRJ flying. Absolutely beautifully well, really nicely actually. Smooth flying. Do I recommend getting Terraini Studio Samos? I don't think you need to. There's a fantastic freeware Samos on flightsim.to that looks exactly the same, so do check that out. Tom C's just bought the new Gatwick by Origami Studios. Awesome. Hope you're loving those. And I mean that's one of my favourite sceneries. It's certainly a really good airport. Also, Cythera, your new honeycomb throttle quadrant will be ready for dispatch on the 6th to the 9th of September. Very excited. Jealous of that. That sounds fantastic. Lanky Boy, hello to you. Loving the streams, finding them informative. Good to hear. Hopefully it's getting you guys the sort of confidence to go on VATSIM if you want to get on VATSIM, or if you're looking to purchase things like the CRJ. Hoping this gives you a bit of confidence with that too. As you can see, it is fairly nice to fly. It can catch you out. You've got to think quite a few minutes ahead, but providing you set things up properly at the start before you push back, you can manage it quite nicely. So we've got the M1 set quite nicely at the moment. All good. Tom, look, yeah, you should be getting the Mykonos as well. That's fantastic. John, major issue. It did it again. Good grief. Shamrock, that's a great question. How many hours would you reckon it takes to get up to speed on the CRJ? I'm familiar with the CJ4 and the A32NX. Is it worth 50 quid? So I'll split it into two questions. Is it worth the 50 quid? Absolutely. Or £40 or so, isn't it, at the moment? When Aerosoft released the CRJ900 and 1000 expansion pack, you'll need this one in order to expand onto the 900. That's going to be really good as well. Definitely going to be getting the 900 as well. Love the idea of the slightly stretched variant. In relation to how long it takes to learn it, if you're familiar with the CJ4, that's probably the best way to transition across to the CRJ. But again, if you can make use of some really good tutorials, like the one that I'm popping in the live chat again, episode 1, watch all of them, episode 1, 2 and 3. And don't skip any bits, because I've pretty much trimmed it down to the absolute minimum, and I will give you everything in those 3 episodes. And I've also, within the tutorial series, my CRJ tutorials, I've broke other things, I've explained other bits like VOR, flying VOR arcs manually, flying holds automatically in the CRJ, and all that sort of stuff as well. So do check them out. I've spent a lot of time creating them, so hopefully you guys find them useful. So you can see here I've not moved the throttle. It's still exactly in the centre of that Mach 0.80 target. Somebody else was asking about VNAV. There's no VNAV on here, it's only advisory. However, it does help you. So for example, we know that we want to descend at a certain waypoint. Now as we get closer, we can see that there's a little green ball there already. That little green circle on the nav display's our top of descent marker. If we go on to direct, it will tell us things like exit. Yeah, flight level 340. We know, where is it? We know we need to be at or below flight level 240, I think it is, by Welling, and it's going to tell us the rate of descent required as we get a bit closer using this direct marker. So, for example, if we wanted to get to Kexit, which is coming up in 30 miles, at flight level 240, we need 2,000 foot per minute basically, but we don't need to worry about it just yet. It will really trigger in and kick in when we see that top of descent marker crossed, and we'll then get a little ball down on this vertical speed indicator here, and we can chase the ball, we can chase the snowflake on the PFD. You'll see all of that in the tutorials as well that I've created. It will make a lot more sense. Speed's looking quite nice still. Jeff, your Thrustmaster TCA Quadrant add-on arrives today. Nice. Loads of buttons, loads of levers. Take the time setting it all up, of course. Tom's asking, is this a member-only livery? Ah, good old drone cam, being drunk. The FlyUK liveries you can only get, of course, if you're a CRJ, if you're a FlyUK member, or FlyUK pilot. There's one of the guys. There's that Basil baby, I think, behind. You just see the contrails. If you want the channel liveries, the British Av Geek Osprey channel liveries, then head to our Discord server and you'll be able to download those for free via a Google Drive link. We've just updated the new Osprey livery for the CRJ, so it's, we've created Osprey Regional, and of course with that we've got bases at places like Birmingham, Edinburgh, Bristol as well, soon to be Bristol when that launches. Fuel's looking good, 3,100 kilograms. It does work with the Thrustmaster TCA quadrant roll film productions, yeah, but it does take a bit of setting up. There are tutorials on YouTube for it, of course. And a fair few people inside our Discord server have got the Thrustmaster TCA working with the CRJ, so you guys are more than welcome to ask away in our Discord server for help with that too. Don't forget to give us a like while you're here if you're enjoying today's stream. And if you're tuning in for the first time, come and say hello. Say hi in the live chat. Let us know what your favourite aircraft is in the sim, your favourite route as well. Look at those patterns on the fields down there. South America is fantastic to fly around, guys, and highly recommend some of the routes that we've done for this Scenic South America tour. DJ Krasy, loving the content. Keep up the good flights. Thanks very much. I'm glad you are. It's always great when we've got people flying along as well. I do love that. That community feel to all of our live streams. Everybody's included. Alberto, Chile. We need to do Chile. Yeah, Jeff, that's a good point as well, actually. Some of these approaches in South America are exceptionally good. They are really tricky as well. So you get RMP approaches, so you got some tricky VOR approaches, some tricky visual approaches too. JFK to MJKS, New York to Jamaica. Is that your favourite route, DJ Krasy? To Kingston. Is there any scenery for Kingston? Or Maruthi, when is the Fenix Sim A320 coming? I think it's a long time yet, buddy. Where are those wing views? There we go, that's my favourite one. If you guys want these Aerosoft CRJ custom views, by the way, head to flightsim.to and just type in the search British AvGeek and you'll find I've uploaded a custom camera pack. So all of these that I use in the stream, you guys can download them and add them onto your own sim. Oh, Buenos Aires, not done that yet. Jolly Thunder, how is dispatch performance modelled in the add-on? Does the EFB give you assumed temperature, derate speeds and all that, or is QRH fixed speed for weight? It's all very dynamic, depends on weights and everything like that. It tells you if you're out of the flight envelope as well, if the centre of gravity is not within limits. That, I've got to get that in a little screenshot, surely. DJ Krasy, you just head to our Discord server, mate, and you can download it for free via our Google Drive link. Look at that lake, that's spectacular. Steve Ellis, been a member for 2 months now. Thanks for supporting the stream, mate. Thanks for being with us. Always great to have some members alongside the channel. That's quite stunning. We've had some stunning scenery through South America. So go to discord.gg/BritishAvGeek and you can join our Discord server there. Accept the rules and it will then give you an auto roll as a frequent flyer, of course. And then also you want to make sure that you've got you go to one of the channels within inside the Discord server. It's called Liveries, and you can literally just type in there, click the link in there. It'll take you to Google Drive and you can download all our channel liveries for free, including the new Osprey World Cargo 747 as well. That C chord is from the plane, I believe. Nope. Ah, from the Knicks. Been a member for 2 months as well. Congratulations, thanks for being with us. David, that's a great idea. Need to put up an Osprey Crew Polo on the Teespring site. Have you got an idea of what the design could look like? Because I could get something whipped up, I'm sure. Someone is asking about performance and things. So you got all your checklists in the EFB. There we go. Matthew, hello, welcome. Our channel resident CRJ pilot, I should say. And so here's your performance. You've got your takeoff speeds on the right, flaps 8 or flaps 20, runway conditions of dry, wet, snow or ice, and of course they will change all your V speeds, your landing speeds, etc. La Ferrari Games as well with his membership for 2 months. Thank you to you too. Hugh Simpson, who created your liveries, multiple people actually across the community. So from Tommy HBK to Frex to some of our own viewers as well. The boy Smythe, Tony as well, Tony Corbett, myself as well. I've actually created the Piper PA28 livery, and I've tweaked Tony's CRJ livery that he created into the new Osprey variant. So quite a few of us have worked on these liveries. Brian Crawley, good afternoon. Hope you're well, mate. So within here you can change your passenger loads. You can click set payload in simulator, which then adds it into your performance page here. Flex is in performance page. Once you've departed, it blanks off, but that automatically gets set there. Or you can take the data and just manually type it in. ISA deviation, etc. too. You can copy perf init data to FMS if you want to carry it all across. The other thing you can do as well is you can change the fuel by using the refueling box up here. So you can turn this on and you can either add fuel or remove fuel, so you can fuel or defuel using this little box at the back here. That's included in my tutorial that I've done. And then what it does as well, once you've set that, you can go to the performance tab and you can click init fuel from aircraft, and it will take the data from the box at the back that you've just changed, and it will put the actual fuel weight of the aircraft in here into performance tab for you. David, I can work with design or ideas. Pretender, good afternoon. Finally able to join a live stream again. Welcome back for you. Great to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Love, one of my favourite features with this CRJ. Let's go over to this side of the flight deck and look across at the view that you get from the captain's seat. big sweeping side window here. That's probably one of my favourite features. A bit odd to say, of course. And I've just bumped into it, but bashing my head against it, as Matthew would keep saying, has just reminded me you also get the heads-up display, which is a really neat feature. I don't tend to use it very much, to be honest, but it does help you see some of the data on the PFD a lot clearer on here, and it also gives you the wind at the top here. It's telling us we've got a 36 knot wind pushing us ever so slightly, a very mild tailwind and also a very mild crosswind. James was asking, how has the CRJ been performing post updates to MSFS, being put off by reports of lots of bugs? Now, we don't have any of this, any of the bugs. I've not experienced any issues myself with it. Everything is working as it should, probably actually smoother than before, to be honest with you. A lot of the bugs that people get, myself included, have come about through pilot error, and then I've gone ahead and just sort of blamed the aeroplane until I learned sort of how to use it in a basic sense. Once I got to that point, then it was all good. Now this is interesting. VUKEP. I've got a double line here. How did I not notice that? Okay, I know why. We want to delete from VUKEP. We'll delete ISROB. We want to delete NESRA. We want to delete NIMPU. Then execute. There we go. That looks a bit better. Oops. Fun fact, I don't think anyone in real life has got that panel in the cockpit, but that's the exact same as the refueling panel on the right wing root. Right. Philip, thanks. You can see our top of descent here. We want to be at or above, let's check the let's check the charts so I don't say the wrong thing. At or below flight level 240 at well-in, but we want to be at or below BR003 flight level 100. So well-in, at or below 240, BR022 at or below, at or above flight level 130, and at or below flight level 100 by BR033, and Loveler at 6000, with the speed constraints there as well, 220, 190 respectively for those waypoints. So that looks pretty good. We check our speed, and you can see that we've been burning fuel off, but it's been holding that speed nicely, and I've not had to change our throttle setting once. With no auto throttle, people worry thinking there's a lot of work to do and you've got to sit there chasing the throttle, moving it forwards and backwards. If you can set that accurately, you can pretty much leave it for a little while, until maybe the weather changes and the speed starts to creep because you're burning lots of fuel off. Tamanaris, hello to you, welcome. I'm very well, thank you. Hope you're okay as well. Now, where do I recognise your name from? I feel like I want to say flightsim.to. Or fly by wire. Last chance for that giveaway that's in the live chat, folks. Don't forget to enter that. And if you're enjoying the stream, we've got 50 likes at the moment. Don't forget to give us a little thumbs up. Jonathan, one location I need to do in MSFS is Florianopolis, a small island south of Brazil. Went there 2 years ago. Wow. The scenery was fantastic from the ground. It must be mind-blowing from the air. You know what? Let's add that to my list. If we can find a real-life route we'll do that. If not, we will create a route with Osprey Regional in the CRJ, and we'll fly into or out of Florianopolis. Definitely pronouncing that wrong. Before we get to top of descent, let's have a little look see at the charts then. VUKEP's coming up. We've got that next. And then we've got 91 miles to Welling. So still a little way to go before we get to top of descent, maybe 10 more minutes. There's our descent down with our little constraints, so at or below flight level 240 at Welling, at or below flight level, at or above flight level 130 at Bravo Romeo 022, Brasilia, and then Brasilia 033 at or below flight level 100. What that is, by the way, guys, is usually distance to the airport. So that'd be 33 miles. That'd be that can't be right actually. Ignore me. Then we're going to be ILS Zulu via Loveler down here. The initial approach fix that was on the previous chart, 6,000. Heading north 018 degrees up to Bravo Romeo 077. We have to be mandatory 5,500 feet, it says there, and it also shows it there too. We're going to be level there to NIMPU before descending down to Toseg at 5,140 feet for that final approach with the ILS. Over some terrain as well, and you can see some peaks here, 4,431, 4,148, 4,555 feet there as well for us to bear in mind. Pylons and terrain, 4,000 or so feet roughly there too. We've got to make sure that we've checked all of our RadNav or NavRad pages. Make sure we've got our course of 108 set and the ILS DME of 1099 and the VOR of VJK 117.5 Kubit Schenk. For Brasilia, airport elevation is 3,498. We'll round that to 3,500, and I've already got that set. I'll show you guys in a second. Our MDA is 3,748. So to change that, we've got the PFD. You should be able to see this panel down here too. Flick that across to MDA. Bruno, welcome on board. And you can see the MDA on the PFD now that we've clicked it. And we need to bring that all the way up to MDA of 3,748. And as you can tell, it's going to take a while because it goes up by tens. Oh, it's annoying. Every now and again I keep moving that. Bloody mouse wheel. Good grief. $3,000. Oops, we're getting there. If I didn't have too many almost overlapping keybinds, it'd be a bit quicker. 3,700. 3,750. There we go. So there's our MDA set. And we want to go and set the rest of these charts. So you guys have had a little look at that for a little while. Radio. Now this should automatically set, so I'm not going to worry about that. Tavanaris, go ahead. Never heard of mouse throttle mode. Feel free to explain it in the live chat as well if you wish. Alberto, wow, you've been to Florianopolis as well. An amazing place for vacationing. Went there 3 years ago, Alberto did. Brazilian people are the most laid-back people in the world. Oh, absolutely. And their cocktails as well. Caipirinha is fantastic. Oh, Dan. Distracted watching your video whilst making a cup of tea, and I've just poured milk into my tea bag container instead of the mug. Yeah, Matthew, it's the carpal tunnel mod, definitely. What was I doing? God, Dan, you've distracted me now. John Mason's off, third time lucky. Right, so 1099. Now we've already put in here the ILS Zulu for runway 11 right, and the Welling 2 Alpha arrival. Now if we click in arrival data here, it tells us the data for the Brasilia ILS Zulu runway 11 right approach, and it's telling us the frequency that it's going to automatically tune for us is 1099. The glide slope angle is 3 degrees. We checked that on the charts, that also matches, that's correct. And the lock true bearing is 108 degrees, but that's not correct. But that's a true bearing. So it might be correct. We'll have to look at the course on approach. At the very least, what we'll need to do is change this course 1 dial. Because I don't think the charts will give it us in true, otherwise that would have a T next to it as well. But there we go, and it's given us a threshold altitude of 34908, which is also correct. So showing the nav data's right. The lock true bearing might not be correct though. So as we get closer, we will allow the aeroplane to automatically change those nav 1 and nav 2 for us. And you can see as we're moving through the flight today, it's been changing nav 1 and 2 the entire time. Let's get a final check for the METAR SBBR, and we've got winds 050 degrees at 8 knots, ceiling and visibility okay, 24 degrees Celsius for temperature, plus 10 degrees for dew point, and QNH of 1019er. Getting close to top of descent now, so we're going to be watching that, of course. Lauren, I can't pronounce it. I said it badly, literally, to a Brazilian person at the airport the other day as well, and got it wrong. And he helped correct my pronunciation, which I've since forgotten. Taminaris, odd. I think maybe the bot is blocking the links, because we did get spammed a little while ago with links, but mouse, throttle, not sure. Feel free to put it in our Discord server though, in MSFS add-ons chat. Bob Black, hello to you, welcome. There you go, DME position updating to supplement the IRS. That's what the radios are doing during the flight. So that's what that's doing, guys. Welling is telling us there, flight level 251 is sort of estimating, and it's telling us we're going to need 1,300 foot per minute to achieve that, and a 1.6 degree flight path angle, heading of 054. Need to reset that. Let's get some final views before we hit top of descent. Those passenger views, we do love those. Lauren, I'm glad you're finding it funny. I've never been good at pronouncing that. Capriana? Caprina? I don't know. I'm sure you'll spell it out again. Look at the hills down below. we should be near the top of descent. Caipirinha. Alberto, quite possibly. Sadly not. Right. 18 miles to top of descent. When we reach that, you guys are going to see a couple of things on the PFD. We're going to see the snowflake appear, and then we're going to get the ball on this vertical speed indicator here as well. And we're going to be setting our descent up to match that. And that's the aeroplane giving us an advisory VNAV. So it's telling us that it's suggesting that we descend at that rate to reach the relevant altitude at the right time, basically. But we can change that. We're the pilot. We can decide otherwise. It's the Americans that can't hold their liquor. Anything over 2%, they're done. I'm not afraid. Hello to you. Welcome. It's all that Bud Light stuff, that really light beer. Give a twank. First flight in this since Sim Update 5, and it is working wonderfully. Kyproska with vodka? Oh, no thank you. Not a fan of, imagine I say I don't. Matthew, is our Osprey regional livery too clean for you? What do we want? Let's set this ready. Was it 240? At or below 240, wasn't it? So we're going to go for 140. Where's the chart's gone? Good grief. Quick. Well into Alpha. 130. We'll do 140. Vertical speed mode. Bring the throttle back. We're going to get the snowflake any second. There we go. There's the snowflake. There's the ball. Oops. So it's saying it wants 3,000 foot per minute to reach Welling at the right time. You can see it there. Oh, it's telling us 3.8 degrees. That seems to be quite high, but we're at 3,000 foot per minute, and we seem to have got the ball set quite nicely there. The snowflake and the ball, actually. We'll do 3.4. Question is, what's it going to set as our ILS? .1099 is the ILS. 1099. And 1175 is the VOR. Missed approach, climb to 6,000 feet, flying runway heading. Maintain heading 108 degrees up to 4,500, then turn right, direct mod per for holding. Nice and simple for that. Back to the approach charts. Letting that speed wash up a little bit. Let's come down with the throttle slightly. And I'm going to aim for continuous descent most of the way, if not all of the way. So I'm going to set QNH of 1019. The standby instruments ready. That gives us a bit of breathing space. Tavanaris, I haven't flown the CRJ on the newest update. It's not much has changed, I don't think, but they've obviously got TCAS working quite nicely. I'm not sure if they added weather radar yet. I don't think they have. I don't think they have. We'll turn terrain mode on. I don't think we've got terrain either. We'll find out when we get there. So we're going to be at or below well in at flight level 240. We've got 4 nautical miles to go to that. So probably just shy of that. Indeed, Jonathan, that's where I've tried it. There are trucks everywhere for it. Okay, well we're at 240 at Welling, so I'll take that. And I'm actually going to allow the speed to come off now because we're going to want to target 220. Brasilia traffic, Skyways 4944 CRJ700 inbound Welling to Alpha Arnav arrival, overhead Welling, flight level 230, inbound and expecting ILS 18 right approach, making that up. Correction, 11 right approach, Brasilia traffic. I almost said 11 as well. We'll put a tiny bit of throttle in. And we're just going to amend this so we can see the snowball here, how it's changed. So we're going to set a new vertical speed. It's about 2000, isn't it? Like so. That snowflake is almost right. The ball was probably telling us 1800 actually, isn't it? We'll do 1900, be slightly below the snowflake. And we'll let that speed start to bleed off because our next speed constraint is 220. Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, I'd imagine it usually means they've just bashed some equipment into it. Let's go. Click. Johnny, hello, welcome. This is, yeah, as you're saying there, it seems to be a lot more manual than the A320X. The A320 flies for you. You're pretty much right there, absolutely bang on. This has got no auto throttle, so it requires us to make a lot of effort in and control the throttle at all times during flight, basically. We've got to resync the heading bug, we've got to manually select our cabin pressure up here. So our landing elevation, we've set that here, 3,500. We've manually set that. We've got our MDA set. We've got somebody up our chuff. Can we see him? Oh yeah. Perhaps they're below us. TCAS has given us an advisory that somebody's nearby in range anyway. Jason, I absolutely love the CRJ. It is a wonderful aeroplane. But Jonas, if you want to try the CRJ and you want to get used to flying it, check out my tutorials that I've created on the channel for it, and it will give you everything you need to know to enjoy it and make the most out of the aeroplane. In fact, there you go. There's a link for you to check out after the stream today. BREF of 134, so we want 139 for approach, we +5. It's giving us a little C chord there to tell us that we're almost levelling off. At or above flight level 130. Let's do 130, shall we? Let's continue the descent. Like so. And then we want to be at or below flight level 100, level by Bravo Romeo 033. So we're going to continue a descent actually now, all the way down to 6,000 feet at Loveler. Oops. Like so. Neil, hello, welcome. We should be getting, any second now, we should be getting lock will be tuned as a message down here. And that's telling us then that the aeroplane is basically going to be tuning the ILS for us automatically. We're almost there, Clayton, yet. There's the ILS approach from NIMPU. Now we could descend in speed mode at this point, and we could say to the aeroplane, right, level off like the Airbus and maintain 250 knots or whatever, but the next speed constraint is max 220 knots. So we're slowing down now. Let's do 1600 foot per minute, shall we? Let's see what it does there. And we're going to continue descent below the transition altitude. That QNH of 1019 now needs setting. Like so. Still waiting for the lock will be tuned. I've got the ILS written down anyway. What else do we need here? Approach charts, ILS Zulu, there's a course of 108 degrees. Let's quickly scribble that down. Tavanoris, I've got a Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS X full flight kit, so I've got to stick with this. Right, reducing speed a bit more now. How long we got? 7 nautical miles to the speed constraint, max 220 knots. We use a little bit of speed brake here. Because then we're going to be at or below 10,000 at that point, which is good. That's what we want. Just over 30 miles now. There's our speed of 220. Slowly let's get rid of that. Landing lights on. That's all good. Let's pop that one on anyway. I do like lighting it up like a Christmas tree. And that's all ready to go. Don't need to worry about anything else in the overhead. We're controlling the throttle to hold 220 knots. What else have we got here? Loveler at 6,000. We're just going to achieve that, but we'll do 1,500. Because that then hits the banana right on the waypoint. That's what we like. Let's bring the range in one more. Max 190 knots. DJ Krasi, I do flights all over the world. Look at that. Inbound Brasilia, guys. And it looks wonderful. Parts of the world that you wouldn't really think about going to ordinarily. User. Odd. It should do. You've got to make sure you've updated it, otherwise I wouldn't be able to use it today, of course. Interesting. 1099, there we go, that's set. 1131 isn't set. I'm hoping that will set shortly, but 1099, 1009, DME hold, 109.9. That's going to lock that frequency in for us. Right, now the throttle's idle. Alt star. That's not tailwind. Go direct to NIMPU as well. Altitude capture. Now we're on the ILS. Brasilia traffic, Skyways 4944 is passing Loveler inbound ILS, runway 11 right, ILS Zulu via NIMPU. I will report when established. Brasilia traffic. 14 miles, look from the DME. 17 miles, sorry, that's from the runway because we've got DME hold active now. And it's just tuned 1175, which is the go around. So, oops, VOR 2. VOR 1 doesn't give us anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please remain seated until we have stopped.
Now we want to do 5,000. Oops, speed, forgot. 5,500. Let's get some flaps out. Do 180 knots, that's quite nice, we'll hold that there. Everything in the overhead is set and ready to go. We're now turning to work on establishing the ILS at NIMPU. So I'm going to do this final turn, then we're going to go to nav mode. Look at that below, wow. Checking the speed, let's get that speed up ever so slightly. It does catch you out if you don't pay attention, guys. Heading mode is active. Now we want to go to nav source, lock. Course of 108, that's correct, that's set, look. And there's our ILS. We can change that across like so, that's going to help us intercept the ILS as well. Here we go. There's the city. I've actually set the wrong altitude, naughty me. Hey ho. Where's our approach button? There it is. Intercepting. There's the runway. Thrust reversers armed on final approach, and that is us ready to go now. So you can see here how full on the aeroplane actually is. Lock 1's flashing, glide slopes armed on the PFD there, and our minimums are all set. We want to make sure now we've got performance tab. Let's set our VREF 134. .139. Brasilia traffic, Skyways 4944, established, ILS 11 right, 11 miles. Got 10 miles now. We're going to try and keep speed up to help out the folks behind us. Look at that. Terrain doesn't work, sadly, because we've got it active, but we would see it by now. Pop back into the flight deck because we should be establishing on the thing shortly. Bank angles on normal. Glide slope. We go flaps 20. Shamrock, our cruise speed was Mach decimal 80. We're now doing 160 knots on final approach. Make sure that's set. Get my feet comfy on the rudder pedals. And we want gear down. Final selection of flaps. Love this CRJ. Coming up to our final approach speeds now. Look, 139 for approach. Let's get that kicked in ready. 3 miles to go. And finally, I have control. We'll fly her in. Oh, bit of turbulence. Nicely trimmed for this approach speed now. Actually, a little bit up. We'll do a bit of power for direct descent. Retrim. We're fine.
Sync rate. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Reverse. Green. That nose wheel, let that come down. And we'll do some, oops. I'll say gentle manual braking, but that doesn't exist, clearly. Awesome aeroplane.
Brasilia traffic, Skyway 5563, zip into 57500. Inbound VRF 11, right.
Brasilia traffic, Skyways 4944 vacated at Echo Echo taxi gates.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Oh, Basil, no, that's not good. Get the flaps up. APU. A bit hasty on the, oops. Start. Strobes are off. Landing lights are off. Literally is my favourite aeroplane in the sim. Where are we going here? We'll go left. Alan, it does a little bit, but you've got to check the, you know, in the Boeings you've got one of the little collars on the heading bug that tells you your bank angle limit. You want to change that basically. Let's go and get the drone camera set up. Miguel, bought CRJ a week ago, it's now a favourite aeroplane as well. Glad loads of people saying the same thing. It is fantastic, isn't it? It's such a lovely aeroplane to use. Let's start taxiing, we've got a couple of seconds left. We're on Romeo. We'll do apron 1, we'll do it in the middle.
Brasilia traffic, so it's 5563 is on 5 mile final, runway 11 right.
We've actually got some traffic here. Not sure EasyJet fly here though. We've got to check out the clips. Hello to you. Got to check out Volanta with our landing rate as well. Don't forget, guys. We can disarm the thrust reversers now too, and we can turn probe heat off, like so. Now I think it's pretty much our after landing checklist complete. Philip's just about to come in. Make sure I've stopped. We have heart brake on. Watch Philip's landing. Jeff, yeah, the heads-up display for the co-pilot is an added optional extra. You know what? It's been how long? We 2 hours in the CRJ today, and I've forgotten how much I enjoyed flying it. Whee! That little bouncy bounce. Whee! We'll blame the lag on VATSIM trying to work out your altitude. Matthew says, I've done a great job showing the correct way to fly with your viewers. I think it's added a lot to everyone's satisfaction with it here. I mean, half of it has come from yourself being so kind as to share your knowledge with such an amazing aeroplane in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And obviously you passing on everything you know via the live chat, giving tips through the flights and everything like that has assisted us with the creation of my tutorials. Wow, is that the last? Is that literally is just Philip? Well, you know what? We've got Ian miles behind as well, of course. John, sorry, miles behind. So let's crack on.
Brasilia traffic, so it's 4563 vacated, runway 11 right, taxi to the gates.
Bob, thank you very much. Well done. Really enjoyed the streams. Good to hear. We've got a taxi in, shut down, and show Volanta off as well. A couple of Osprey liveries there. Good to see. Look at that. That channel livery. We could pop that transponder to standby now as well. Like so. Where's the charts? I think we'll stick it over there next to these guys. There's a couple of stands free in this little corner. Taxi routes in. So we'll take Lima 4, so not that first blip, we've got one more yellow line followed by a second one straight after it. Like so, we can see that. I saw a Lufthansa regional CRJ come in the other day into Heathrow and he absolutely caned it in on the taxiway. And I've never seen an aeroplane taxi in so fast. Oh. Taxi lights off. We'll park in here. Minor systems modelling bug, Matthew. What's that then? Jenny, this is sadly a default. We've still got one more leg left to do on the Brasilia World Tour. Where's Philip? Oh, he's over there. Let's make sure we taxi this properly onto the little line. We'll be clear of that. Almost. It's almost a stand fit for a CRJ, this. Pop that off. Pop that off. Pop the boost pumps off as well. Beacon. Aircraft.
Wished I'd gone down the local, although I could have crashed the car.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please
John, brilliant. Yeah, I think we're pleased you didn't. So obviously with the CRJ, when I open the doors on my aircraft, it does the same for everybody else in a CRJ, hence why they're all now in place. EasyJet in the distance there is a bit random, isn't it? Should we look at Flanta, folks? While we won't get Philip parked up. We can see what our landing rate is then as well. We've got one more leg left to do of this. We'll do that in the next few weeks. Fourth person to arrive at Brasilia today. There's our little route. There's our final approach. And our touchdown, minus 317 foot per minute at 1.79 G. That doesn't seem correct to me. It certainly felt a lot softer than 1.8 G. In any case, we're down and the aeroplane can be used again. Great scenery, beautiful approach. It's only a default aeroplane airport, of course. So one thing to bear in mind with this. Where'd he go? Of course you go that way. How am I going to get this into a screenshot? Let's have a little look. August, hello. Ah, interesting, Matthew. There's a little modelling issue you've noticed there. Cherish, thanks for subscribing. Welcome on board. There we go. That's our next leg of the FlyUK tour. Scenic South America Class D tour for those of you in the virtual airline, of course. Into some default scenery. Got to make sure I stop SkyTrack. That's the recording software for FlyUK. There we go. Happy days. Thanks to Philip for flying along, John as well for flying along, albeit the 2 crashes, and Basil as well for flying along too. Sadly got crashed to desktop on approach, which is a bit bizarre. Got some stunning scenery on the way. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Nothing from me tomorrow. I'm at work tomorrow, sadly, but back in potentially Friday or Saturday for another live stream. We're going to be going live to Bristol Airport, and we're going to be giving away a copy to whoever wins. We're going to be giving away a copy to the brand new Pilot Plus scenery Bristol Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and a video is ready to go for you guys. I've done a really nice detailed review showing my thoughts and opinion of the new Pilot Plus scenery. Obviously that's going to be going head to head with the UK 2000 Bristol as well, and you'll see how the new Pilot Plus one blows it out the water when the video goes live. So be sure to check that out, set the notification bell so you guys don't miss that. And if you're in Discord, you'll of course see it pop up in the new videos section as well. Thanks to all of our bronze, silver and gold frequent flyers for being part of the channel. As always, supporting the stream, it's really appreciated, and it's great to have you guys fly along as well. Jonathan, thank you for your tip and your kind words as well earlier on. Steve, Fun with the Nicks and LaFerrari for your channel membership anniversaries, all members for 2 months so far, and John as well for your super chat, wishing he'd gone down to the local. I'm sure you'll get here at some point. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. Got some channel admin to go and get ahead and complete. Really happy to have been back in the CRJ today. It's such a great add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So if you want to get your hands on it, head to the Aerosoft website, buy it direct off them, or via our channel partner, our stream partner, Contrail, contrail.shop, and you can download it there as well. It's a great little bit of software from them, allowing you to manage your add-ons through those. Leo's asking, hi, my heading altitude and everything with the autopilot, it still doesn't give me the option to change managed on the ground or in the air after doing my flight plan as well on the A321X. So when you want to change to managed mode on the autopilot on the A321X, it doesn't let me click up or down on the heading or speed. Check that you've got your accessibility settings. You've changed the legacy. There's like a setting in here somewhere. Let me show you. Somebody showed me. I think it's in assistance. UI? No. Piloting? No. Not in there, is it? It's here somewhere. Let me find it. Accessibility, I think it's in here. Cockpit interaction system. Because of the Xbox release, it's on lock. You want to change that to legacy, so make sure you've done that, and that then allows you to start toggling the buttons and things. So discard that in case I've knocked something wrong. Philip, yeah, smash that for a landing. Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you either Friday or Saturday. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when we go live on one of those days, and there's going to be a giveaway for that too. So you've got to be in it to win it, of course. Next week we've got some more giveaways as well. Thanks everybody for flying along. Don't forget to give us a little thumbs up. If you've not already done so, do hit that subscribe button. And enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care.